You're watching ABC7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. We are monitoring some very strong storms on the Suncoast right now.
Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast. Bob?
Yeah, the good news is that they're moving pretty quickly, so they'll get out of here in time for some of the fireworks that are going on this evening. Looks like that line is very intense all the way from Pinellas County southward down into Lee County and Fort Myers. But right here in Manatee and Sarasota counties, it's coming down fairly heavy, and we've had gusty winds and frequent dangerous lightning occurring with these cells. You can see that explosion of storms. The East Coast breeze and that little upper level low combining with that West Coast sea breeze really exploded these storms right here along the coast. And again, that rain is heavy all across western portions of Manatee and Sarasota counties, even into central Sarasota County right now. And you can see that rainfall now entering downtown Sarasota, and our live lightning showing quite a few lightning strikes occurring, as you see right there. Right now on the area beaches, you want to clear those immediately as lightning is heading in your direction. Number of strikes just in this area alone in the last 10 minutes have been 407 strikes, with 107 of those becoming, the positive strikes, which are much more dangerous, and the amperage are much more higher. That's the blue strikes that you see right there, intermixed with the light strikes, and then those are the negative strikes. Now, Palmetto, you're getting heavy rain. Ellington, also some tremendous rainfall there with some frequent lightning strikes all the way through Lakewood Ranch, and then down south into Inglewood, Tarpon Point, Northport. It's lessening, but still dangerous out there. A lot of people are hit by lightning is after the storm has passed, so keep that in mind. You want to wait at least 30 minutes after the last thunder before you resume your outdoor activities. And again, all that pushing to the southwest. Now we're checking out some of this. This is a small hail being reported, and now an update now from the radar showing the possibility of small hail exists just to the east of Onico, and also right around Inglewood, just to the west of Northport. Some Doppler indicated hail being reported there. And we had a little rotation, nothing going down to the surface. There haven't been any reports of severe weather at this point. And as far as the hail goes, a Titan impact of 3. And you can see some of the hail where it could be right now near Taylor Ranch Elementary into near Northport, Sarasota County Sheriff's Office as well. And it looks like Station 22 Fire Department. This is the hail forecast. Again, a lot of this hail forecast is a result of what we may see as hail, but also could be melted before it reaches the ground. This is Doppler indicated hail in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So again, the forecast does call for all this to come to an end after around 7 o'clock tonight. We should start to see some clearing skies by 9:30, and that looks good for the fireworks at Nathan Benderson Park. Although they're in a delay right now, I'm certain of it, and folks are taking shelter in their automobiles, hopefully. We are looking for a better evening, though. Once we get through this hour, I would say, things will improve drastically across the Suncoast as this all kind of heads off into the Gulf of Mexico. Another round, though, in store for us on the 4th. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Bob, thank you. Police in Overland Park, Kansas, investigating a shooting near an elementary school. School is out right now, so no students were hurt, but police say 2 contractors were shot at Sunrise Point Elementary School. The injured workers were taken to a hospital in critical condition. The men were there to install turf on the school's playground.
Police say the suspect is a fellow contractor. He took off after carjacking a black GMC Denali. Police are currently looking for that vehicle.
New details tonight in the Gazette newspaper shooting in Maryland. There are reports of a letter indicating the suspect, Jared Ramos, went to the newspaper's office with the intent of killing everyone present. Former Capitol editor Thomas Marquardt says a former lawyer for the paper told him about the letter, which was sent to a Maryland judge. The letter was dated June 28th, the same day as the shooting, and was formatted like a legal filing. President Trump ordered flags to be flown at half-staff today in honor of the 5 people killed in that shooting.
Now to the showdown over the Supreme Court. President Donald Trump interviewing potential justice nominees this week as he gears up to announce his pick to replace retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy. ABC's Arlette Sines joins us with a look at those nominees.
President Trump hasn't even made his pick yet, but the battle over the next Supreme Court justice is heating up. The president has met face-to-face with 4 potential nominees: Judge Brett Kavanaugh, Judge Amy Coney Barrett, Judge Amol Thapar, and Judge Raymond Kethledge.
They are outstanding people. They are really incredible people in so many different ways, academically and every other way.
The president also interviewed Republican Senator Mike Lee by phone, and he's expected to talk with 2 more contenders, federal Judge Thomas Hardiman and appellate court Judge Joan Larson. Outside groups are already ramping up the pressure. ABC News has learned anti-abortion rights groups and activists are lobbying senior White House officials against Kavanaugh and arguing in favor of Barrett. An abortion rights group is readying this ad targeting Maine Senator Susan Collins, who could be a critical swing vote.
A candidate for this important position who would overturn Roe v. Wade would not be acceptable to me, because that would indicate an activist agenda that I don't want to see a judge have.
With Republicans holding a slim majority in the Senate, there's little margin for error.
If he can keep Republicans together, he's able to get his pick. And critically, he can lean on some red state Democrats who want to show that they're close to President Trump, potentially to confirm his justice.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell hopes to have a justice confirmed by the start of the Supreme Court's next term in October. Arlette Sines, ABC News, Washington.
The eastern U.S. heat wave is pushing into the 4th of July holiday. Nearly 60 million people under a heat advisory or warning today. The recent heat wave has left at least one person dead, 2 other deaths under investigation right now. The scorching temperatures and humidity expected through Independence Day again. Advisories and warnings stretching from central Virginia all the way into eastern Maine. Well, here on the Suncoast, nearly 50,000 people in Manatee County don't always know where their next meal is coming from. And while the Food Bank of Manatee County used to supply groceries to local pantries, another group, Feeding Tampa Bay, is changing the way food is distributed.
ABC7's Jackie Kelly tells us what this means for those pantries.
Folks walk through that door and they come to this table to get this food. And this food supply is no longer reliable, in my opinion.
Gene Tischer is a board member for Still Point Mission, one of the pantries in Manatee County affected by the change. Under Feeding Tampa Bay's new guidelines, pantries can pick up food directly from the agency's warehouse. They can pay a fee to have it delivered, or they can go to an assigned store for donations. Tischer says the last option is no longer reliable, with just 20% of the food he picked up on Monday being usable.
You never know what you're going to get at the store. Food Bank of Manatee used to go out and get all that food and bring it back to the warehouse and pack it up so we knew exactly what we were going to get each time we went to Food Bank of Manatee. Just the stuff we needed for our clients.
However, Feeding Tampa Bay says its model has worked in places such as Pasco and Polk County.
We've seen more food get increased into the county. We've been able to enable agencies to pick up directly from stores, which allows them to build that relationship locally, and we keep that food in the county as well.
And while a relationship is being built locally with stores, Tischer says more manual labor is involved than before, which is harder because most volunteers, he says, are older.
But yesterday at Walmart, I was in an alley loading these boxes, some of which weighed 50 pounds, over the 4-foot height of my pickup truck and dropping into the bed of my pickup truck. I have to load it all by myself.
That was Jackie Kelly reporting. Still Point Mission says they hope that the Food Bank of Manatee County will be reinstated as their primary source.
An update now on a new resort being built by Allegiant Airlines in Charlotte County. Allegiant says it's buying Kingsway Country Club to complement the resort. Kingsway is located in Lake Susie, east of both Punta Gorda and Port Charlotte. Allegiant reports the 42-year-old club's membership voted to accept the offer on Saturday. The sale is expected to close in August. Allegiant is building its 25-plus acre resort on the Charlotte Harbor Peace River waterfront. It's expected to have nearly 1,500 hotel rooms and condos.
During his visit to Kuwait, Governor Rick Scott awarded 4 Florida Army Reserve National Guard soldiers with the Governor's Medal of Merit. One of the recipients, Staff Sergeant Christopher Kreitz, is from Northport and is currently on his 3rd deployment. He has served for more than 18 years and is retiring soon. Staff Sergeant Kreitz lives in Northport with his wife and 4 children.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, do you know what it takes to maintain a healthy weight? Well, a new study shows us how Americans misunderstand how to lose weight.
Plus, why customers are boycotting Walmart for new merchandise being sold on its website.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly one in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, and you're struggling to pay your bills while your case is dragging on, that's where Oasis Financial comes in. Only Oasis has Oasis Express Cash that can get you from $500 to $25,000 in as little as 24 hours, faster than anyone else. There's no risk and no out-of-pocket cost.
It was so simple. I made one phone call. Oasis was able to give me the money within 24 hours.
To pay for my electric bill, my rent, and my groceries for my children.
And even if you end up losing your case, Oasis lets you keep the money, so there's absolutely no risk to you. You don't have to worry about repaying Oasis.
If I had lost my case, then I wouldn't be responsible for paying the money back. And that was a blessing.
Oasis, they killed it, man. They helped me out. They gave me my life back.
See how much money you can get before your case settles. Call Oasis Financial, because life moves faster than your case. 1-800-874-8185. 1-800-874-8185.
Hello, I'm John Merce. Rugs As Art is celebrating yet another anniversary, and I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for the many years of continuous support. All during the month of July, we're having a grand celebration. We have flooded our showroom with yellow tag specials, meaning more discounts and more savings than ever before, plus free padding. So don't miss this anniversary celebration at Rugs As Art, Sarasota's bigger and better area rug superstore.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Sun Coast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Millions of Americans struggle with their weight. Most will say they know how to eat right, but Reed Binion shows us a new study that sheds light on how Americans understand weight loss.
Many Americans struggle with separating weight loss fact from fiction. Results from a fat IQ survey show a broad misunderstanding of how to lose weight.
Over 85% of people thought they knew what to do and thought they knew about basic dietary facts. But in fact, over half of America flunked.
The survey, conducted for personalized healthcare provider MDVIP, quizzed participants on their understanding of how weight is influenced by diet and physical exercise. Even if you think you understand how food impacts your body, talk to your doctor to determine what might keep you from your weight loss goals.
Everybody's different. Some people need to go low carbohydrate, higher fat. Some people need to do the opposite. But your specific body type, your doctor will know best.
Weight loss plans aren't one size fits all. Everyone's diet and bodies are different. So if you're trying to shed those extra pounds, make an appointment with your doctor. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
Hawaii may set a trend when it comes to potentially harmful sunscreens. It's set to become the first state in the U.S. to ban the sale of sunscreens considered harmful to coral reefs. Oxybenzone and octinoxate are found in many commercial sunblocks. The ban would take effect in the year 2021. Companies that sell these products with those chemicals will either have to stop selling them or reformulate them without the chemicals. People could still get sunscreens containing those chemicals by prescription. The sunblock industry is pushing back, suggesting the ban will cause fewer people to use sunscreen, which would increase the risk of skin cancer.
Now your ABC forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
The rumble of thunder out there right now, heavy rain, gusty winds, 40 miles an hour, even the possibility of some small hail, although that's not as much of a chance as you're going to see that dangerous lightning. This is Lakewood Ranch over the past 30 minutes or so. It's been raining heavy there. Obviously, a big deal going on at the Nathan Benderson Park tonight, and we're expecting that rain to move on through. Some unbelievable photos sent in. David Kreimer getting this one as the storms are approaching. That shelf cloud right there, and boy, some tremendous rain there in Venice, looking off to the east, right there with Old Glory right there. Perfect for 4th of July, and you can see that line of intense storms making its way right across the west coast of Florida, enhanced by this upper level low just to the east of the state, which will be slowly trekking across the state throughout the day tomorrow as well. So we can expect another round of afternoon and evening thunderstorms like we're seeing right now. Boy, an intense line of heavy weather now in Sarasota near the airport, stretching down to downtown, Siesta Key, Osprey, even into Bradenton now. Not as much into northwest Bradenton, but that is going to change here in a little bit. Parrish, light rain, but still some lightning out there, so be careful of that. Even though the rain may come to a light end there, it's not a good idea to head outdoors until you can not hear that thunder anymore. Lakewood Ranch, you're just about at the edge of the heavy rainfall. So another half hour or so, I think most of the heavy rain will be over there. It's lessening already. And then the tremendous lightning strikes near the Gulf Gate Estates up through South Sarasota, Siesta Key, all the way down into Turtle Beach and into Casey Key. Heavier weather down south. Northport, you're getting some moderate rain now. You had some strong cells earlier. Those have since pushed to Inglewood and into Venice and Nokomis, getting some rain. A little break right there north of Venice and Minnesota, but still a lot of rain around. These are big storms. You can tell this is the 3D look and slice through these storms now, up to 50,000 feet. We had been barely getting to 30, sometimes 40,000 as of late, but these are much stronger due to that upper level low spinning nearby. And when you get to that level, you can bet you're going to get some very dangerous lightning and some heavy rainfall, even the possibility of small hail when they extend that far up. 45,000 foot storm. This one's coming down just a little bit now. It's at 50,000, but just a minute ago it was a much larger area. So the new radar sweep indicating that these storms are, I know it doesn't look like it, are weakening somewhat. Still very dangerous, however, with those 40-mile-an-hour winds. There have been no reports of any severe weather at this point, but would not be surprised to hear some limbs down or some branches down as a result of those 40-mile-an-hour winds. We look for this rain to continue into the Gulf of Mexico. Some light rain will linger. It'll stick around for a little while, and then it should be out of here, though, in time for the fireworks to go off at the park, and looks like things will stay pretty quiet throughout the day tomorrow. We're looking for generally sunny skies to start today. Most of the afternoon should be okay, and then we'll see those storms redeveloping, say after 3, 4 o'clock, with this upper level low kind of intensifying those storms. And it looks as though we will see that stick around throughout the 4th and even into possibly Thursday. Well, this is a tropical system the Hurricane Center is watching. No big concern to the U.S. as a frontal system will kind of catch this and not allow it to develop as it pushes off toward the north and eventually off to the northeast. Currently, it's cool, though. That's one of the benefits of these afternoon storms. It cools down after high today into the low 90s. Now, as far as the boaters are concerned, it looks like this. Scattered thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, east winds turning to the west, and they'll be at 10 knots to start today, subside to 5 knots in the late afternoon. As far as the forecast goes for 7 days, it looks like Florida, showers and thunderstorms each and every day. High temperatures in the low 90s, lows into the mid 70s. Some of these storms will contain some very heavy rainfall and gusty winds up to nearly 40 miles an hour. Well, much more coming up at 6. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. Right now, the heavy rain looks like it is causing some backups on the interstate. The north and southbound lanes are slow going on I-75 from Bee Ridge Road down past the Clark Road exit. Scott?
Thanks, Jacqueline. In consumer news, prices are going up for dozens of drugs. Pfizer announcing price hikes for drugs that treat everything from blood pressure to lung cancer. This is the second time this year Pfizer has raised prices on drugs, and some of the price increases are now topping 10%.
Walmart is taking heat for a line of anti-Trump merchandise sold on its website. Third-party companies produced the, quote, Impeach 45 and Impeach Trump items. Trump supporters voicing their frustration about those items on social media. Some even threatening to boycott the retail giant. It appears Walmart has since taken the products off of its website. The retailer still sells Make America Great Again and Donald Trump Speaks for Me apparel.
A new report claims Starbucks is not doing enough to combat racial bias. The data was put together by 2 civil rights experts, and it comes about a month after the coffee chain shut down its stores nationwide for training. The legal counsel for the NAACP says 1 day's worth of instruction is not sufficient. Starbucks is also advised to hire an independent racial equity consultant to prevent similar problems in the future. The situation brewed after an incident in April when 2 black men were arrested inside a Starbucks as they were just waiting for a friend.
Some good news for online shoppers. Amazon Prime Day is expanding this year. It gets underway on July 16th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time and will last 36 hours. That's 6 hours more than it was last year. The last Amazon Prime Day was the largest sales day ever for Amazon, with tens of millions of purchases made. There are more than 100 million Prime members, and if you're interested in joining, the new price tag is $119 per year, a 20% hike from last year.
They have a lot of deals, though.
I know, they are pretty good.
Entertainment news is next.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
I used to dread getting up and going to work.
I was done with the corporate grind.
I was tired of being a starving artist.
And I started looking around for a business that I believed in, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green.
My SCORE mentor helped me take the first step.
He helped me create a business plan and helped me implement it.
They've really taught me how to think big.
SCORE helped me to make the unimaginable possible, all for free. I'm here because of SCORE.
I'm here because of SCORE.
Get your free business mentor at score.org.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
Zupan, part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything. I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
A former Sarasota resident who is now a working actress in Hollywood has some strong opinions about Harvey Weinstein and the Me Too movement.
Chelsea Gonzalez says the entire atmosphere among agents and casting directors has changed 100% since that movement began last year. She says she's had several off-color experiences that she now feels free to talk about.
There was an agent at CAA who once was like messaging me about stuff and ended up like saying in a message to me, I work for CAA, I'll help your career. And I ended up, like when the whole Me Too movement happened, I posted a screenshot of it. I blocked out his name, which who knows if that's a good idea or not, but I posted about it. And I got like an overwhelming response of support and people being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this is what's really happening.
Gonzalez graduated from Out of Door Academy and has since appeared in several TV shows and movies.
Comedian Andy Dick is facing charges of misdemeanor sexual battery and simple battery after he was accused of groping a woman in April. The Los Angeles city attorney filed the 2 misdemeanor charges and is seeking an arrest warrant. Dick is set to be arraigned July 18th. TMZ is reporting that the woman told police the comedian touched her inappropriately and made lewd comments as he walked past her on a sidewalk. Andy Dick has not commented on those allegations.
The Songwriters Hall of Fame has a new legendary songwriter as chairman. Funkmaster Nile Rodgers, the 65-year-old co-founder of the band Chic, says that he will now try to serve with all his heart. Behind the scenes as a producer, Rodgers has worked with Madonna, Sam Smith, Daft Punk, David Bowie, Diana Ross, and much more.
Well, singer Sheryl Crow has announced her last album, and it's going to take you back in time. The album will feature artists like Stevie Nicks, Johnny Cash, Keith Richards, and more. In an interview, Crow alluded to her record as a collaboration with her lifelong heroes. She believes albums, though, are a dying art form and has decided to focus instead on singles like her recently released song, Wouldn't Want to Be Like You. Crow is known for covering topics like gun control, opposing war, and saving the environment. She says the last album has been inspired by current events and issues and is set for release sometime next year.
Well, stay with us. We'll be right back with more news and weather after the break.